Well, that explains the delay, doesn't it? I've been waiting for a set of much better chains to come, and I've been wondering where they are. I've had a message from Every, the new Hermes, to let me know. We're sorry to let you know that your parcel from online sale has been damaged beyond repair in transit. So they know who I am, they know the tracking number, they know what it is. So I wouldn't care if they just come in with a handful of chains and said, there's your chains. The packaging is just the packaging. Package, right, well, lead me to this and I'll come back, and if I get a phone call or something, then, I'll tell you what happens. Yeah, here we go again. That's probably the last time we'll use the mains energizer for, well, might be a couple of weeks actually. We're going to change round completely what we're doing with this now. This whole fence has got to come down. I'm going to start it at the gateway and kind of bring it up to that cherry over there, and then give the cattle this bit here, and then in the paddock up there. The downside with that is water. There's no water supply up here, although I could plumb one in. I actually want the cattle to still have access to the field in there. The problem with that is it means that the electric fence has to cross. Got no choice, I have to cross public footpath, which is a pain. But that's just what we have to put up with. I was asked the other day about giant redwoods and had I ever considered planting it on the farm. And I did reply that I'd already done it, but there's one of them. So he's actually putting on some fairly good growth this year. One there, and there's one in that tree planter over there. So he's not doing as well. I think that's because his feet are too wet. So we'll give it another year, but if he doesn't do any better, we might have to move him. So this chap though, well, he's more than happy. Okay, and a different anchor tree. So I'm taking a different course up for the wood that way. Something a bit like this one. So all this is a divert, literally insulated, adjustable, electric fence post type thing. I like it in here. Well, I like it everywhere here because it's sheltered, comfy, and breakfast's on tap. Shall I use you? I could use you, couldn't I? Let's use you. And one more over here. I think we'll put you on that post there. Posts are a few years old now, so they're getting hard. Someone's down the yard. Right, now I appreciate I'm putting a lot of faith in modern education and people having a bit of brain about them to understand what's going on there. Okay, so warning sign on there which would tell me That's live, don't touch it. Insulated pole, blue rope, which doesn't pass current, blue rope, and a bit more of electric fence that's hooked onto barbed wire. Right, so anybody with a modicum of common sense will appreciate that this is completely dead. There's no feed to it, it's insulated that end, it's, well, it would be cracking and banging. So just to err on the side of a little bit of caution, I've even put a little bit of blue rope on there, so people, if they want, can, you know, can do that. Shall I show you again? Hang on. I don't need to do that. I mean, it's dead. But I have to give something for the cattle to look at. I have to give them a reason to not want to go down there. So to me, short of putting a sign on there saying this bit of wire is not live, I would hope most people, I know I'm opening quite a lot, aren't I? But I would hope that most people would get the idea that that's not live. It's a public footpath. I can't actually put a live wire across there, but I do have to have some way of stopping the cattle going that way. I want to give that side of the golf course a rest now. So if I can keep them out of there for 10 days, 2 weeks, this will recover. It'll come back lush and green, and then they can start over and going back that side again. So go on then. Put a comment in the box below. Percentage, okay? What percentage of people will understand that? Let's just see if my faith in modern education and common sense is the same as yours. So, because to me, 1 second looking at that, obvious. To a townie, I don't know, how many are you going to try ducking underneath it? Or going through the wire, or anything they can do to avoid going near that? It's dead. Can't hurt them. Well, unless they take that end and go around there and attach it to that end, then you get a poke off it, but why would you? I don't know. I reckon an awful lot of people will stand and look at that and go, oh, I'm sure that's not legal. I'm sure he can't do that. Okay, you know, I can't cater for every single person in the world. I know modern health and safety caters for every single person in the world. You know, intelligent, not intelligent. It has to cater for everybody, but me, I like to make people think about it a bit. Think about it. Not going to hurt you. Right, well, I'm not going to turn it on for an hour anyway. They're quite happy where they are for a minute. I'm just topping up the 12-volt battery. We'll put the Energizer out a bit later on, and then I'll switch it on and open the gate. So, sit up the house and wait for the abuse. Abby had it last, and I don't know what she's done with it. I might have to make another one. Oh, there's a tub. Have I got a lid? Yeah, tub and lid. Right, that's what I need. One of those. And is there two in there? Yeah, one of those. Right, I know I've shown you this trick before, but I'll do it again. This might give you a clue as to what I'm doing. So basically, feed tub, got to be big enough. Cut that way. You're a bit brittle, aren't you? Too old, really. Cut that way. One at least a couple of inches wide. You'll see why that is in a minute. Okay, and then finally I cut this way. So what we're trying to do is create a little flap in there. Okay, a flap that will kind of close itself-ish. So we're trying to keep things like big snails and stuff out. So, all right. So what's going in there? You already know, don't you? Those of you that know, you know. I'll go get it. This is what's going in there. So we'll have the terminals facing the door. That will go in there. And then when I come to connect this up, I'm not going to do it now because I'm not going to actually keep it off. But basically, come here. These two guys will go up through there, like that. I'll connect them onto the battery inside. I'll close the lid. Battery's out the weather. It's off the ground because batteries just left on the ground will discharge faster. So there's a plastic waterproof dry barrier between the battery and the ground, so hopefully it'll last longer. And it just protects it. Also, when these guys are in here, it also means that I can carry this with one hand. Okay, let's set this up. I seem to have got myself into a mucking fuddle here. Hang on, here. Right, you can come back through. How did that go through there? Right. Okay, now we're getting there. Okay, let's have you. Ground is nice and moist, so we should have a good contact for. That's earth. You can be plugged straight onto there. That is live, or the hot bit. You can go up on there. And these two fellas, well, these are going to go up in here. You can go on there. And you can go on there. Right, so now, oh what, you're already on. Okay, we're live. I can let them back in again. So I reckon it's only a short length of, so we'll put them on lower power. Doesn't need full oomph. Cat will already know what it is, but here they go. So there's a battery. Battery's all protected in this bucket. Little flap there. Little snails and a slug will get in there, but a big snail, that'll keep them out. This up off the floor. That can throw it down with rain if it wants. That barrier will stay dry. There you are. You can't see him, but I can. I heard him first. Pair of swifts way up there in the blue. Lovely. But as I was looking at there, I nearly didn't see that down there. I'm gonna have to come out here with a ragwort fork too. So, right, I think that's what we're gonna do. Well, I got to sort a little bit of fence out, which I'd forgotten. Actually, it's a bit of fence was broken when Abby had her sheep out here. I'm not sure if the dogs came running out here or whatever it was. Anyway, one of her lambs went headlong into that fence over there at such a pace, just smashed straight through the fence. So I kind of need to put that right. Cow won't go through there, but a calf might think about it. And I don't need the hassle. So we'll fix that. Let the cows in that side of the gate. And then when they've cleared that, graze that off, they can come in this side of the gate and do this side. And then when they're done out there, they can have that out there. So yeah, another 10 days worth, I reckon. As you can imagine, he hit that, or he or she, it hit that with some force. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, it wasn't that quick. I had to cut away the hedge. Do you know what? I'll just show you what I did. I had to cut away the hedge. I couldn't get in the corner to tension it up. Didn't get away with that injury. Nasty little. Well, what would you call that? I know what I call it, but apparently I'm not allowed to say it. But that's what that is, isn't it? It's definitely one of those. It's bloody sore too. Yeah, it wasn't really as quick as that. I can't fix the fence because of that. I can't get around the back of it. Well, I can, but not without ripping my hands to pieces. So I've gone back up the shed, got all of our battery-powered hedge trimmer. Good machine this is, and I'm just going to make a bit of room for me to get in there. It's not I'm going slow, I'm going careful. They haven't long sharpened this, and he said to me, Martin just said to me, that's for fine stuff only. I don't want it to wear. Not that sharp. So that staple in there, although it's been pulled through, is really tight. Really tight. I've got to give him a bit of love. Right, I've got my thing of purpose, which is that thing there, and it's designed to get rid of those things. There, oh, missed it. So I should have gloves on for this really, but that's what this is. It's a ragwort tugger, and the idea is you want to get as much of that root out as you possibly can. Leave any of that in there, it's just going to grow back again. Right, there's another one somewhere. They're also, believe it or not, pretty good at getting out the odd bull thistle. Look at that, satisfying. Including the root. I've had these with a root like a full-grown carrot on it before. Right, you can stay out there, but you can't. You are going over the hedge where the animals can't reach you, and you could rot in there. Go on, in there. Right, so you have to have your eyes on for ragwort, especially when you've got creeping thistles around, because they can look very, very similar. But I do know there's another one down here somewhere, because I saw it when I was doing the fence. There he is. And that's one over there too. Not quite. Almost. There you go. Right. Got a bit too much soil in there. It's got that smell about it, ragwort. It stinks. Right, you can go over there. Right, I'm going to go on and pull a few more of these. I know there's a couple out there. I'll get these two because I'm going past them. And maybe that one, there's 3. I think there's another one over there somewhere. Then there's 2 out there to do. And I'll come back, we'll let the cat in. So a bit later in the year when they get a bit woody, I wouldn't do that. Like that, they'll rot away, disappear in no time. They can't do any harm in there. But when they get up to sort of chest high, that's when they come back. They're dried out on the bonfire then. Okay, you lot, have you made a note of where the boiler is? Because it's moved, all right? Come on, then. It didn't take him long to suss out. Oh, he's moved it. Oh, look at that. Oh, yummy. Let's go and tread all over it and poo on it. And then we'll eat what's left. Oh, yeah. Happy days. Hey? Happy days. That's it. You put a few more kilos on. Got to make a phone call for you. 155. Alright, don't panic. Yeah, I'm standing in the shade. It's already more than warm enough for me. I don't do heat. I'm not a big fan of summer heat, never have been. But summer shade, that I can take.